Welcome everyone. How nice to be with you yet again. So I hope that everyone's having a good day, and let's go ahead and get into this new little recording on personality as a life unit. So, personality as a life unit. Where to begin? Personality is kind of an interesting term, and I'm sure it could be fun to look up all the different definitions that people have for the word personality. And I think it's one of these terms that we use pretty liberally and casually, and I think that that's good. That's okay. So with the triplex training system, I decided to use this word because it's just out there, commonly known. People talk about it, they talk about their personalities, and so I figured I would just kind of go with this as a term to use to talk about kind of the experience of I. Who am I? The I experience, the I phenomenon, whatever that is, the I, what do I identify with? The word identify starts with the letter I. So personality as some sort of quality about a person. Sometimes maybe we think about a personality in terms of a set of traits, like personality traits that a person has, and maybe we describe a person to say that that's their personality. That's maybe another way that you could look at it. So I'm going to tell a little bit of a story about it to bring out the quality of the personality as a life unit. And it's going to start way back in the very beginning, before you were even you. And there was some sort of sequence of events that led up to one egg, a little life unit in the form of an egg, and another little life unit in the form of a sperm, somehow coming together, bingo, and merging. We talked about merging in one of the earlier lectures. So this pretty amazing process of two life units actually joining in to become one new life unit. So in the mother's womb, this embryo starts to develop, and in a way, this clearly has a body at this point. This clearly is some sort of biological life unit that can be looked at like a body, and everyone will have kind of different views on the body and the formation and life and those questions and subjects, but I just kind of want to steer us towards this overall progression of this body is developing, and at some point emerges from the mother. There's this sort of emergence that happens, this birthing process, and the body now is out in the world. And the body, and this is where there may be different opinions, but there is kind of some general, I don't know, there's some views out there that say that around 1 year old, this particular body that comes into the world, which the body has the ability to neurocept. We talked about that already, and there's just like basic things that the body is doing automatically in order to support the survival of the tissues. And then at about age 1, there's something that kind of seems like it emerges. And what this quality is this quality of the individual person, the personality, their ability to know that they are kind of like this self-awareness, this kind of ability to differentiate themselves as an organism from another. And so that phenomena of the actual person knowing that they are different from the outside world is kind of the phenomena that I'm kind of lumping together and calling that the personality. So this personality comes into existence. Wow, how amazing. It actually emerged. So this kind of suggesting that this life unit, it may have actually emerged separately from the body. And there's different views on that. Some people have memories of being in the womb, and so it's all a big conversation. But at least in terms of doing some personal growth work, I find that it's pretty helpful to work with the body and with this notion of the personality as being kind of two separate but very intimately connected life units. So the personality emerges, and so what is this personality, and what are some of these qualities that come in with the personality? Well, as a life unit, the personality has some attributes such as the boundary. Again, like this boundary is really being established by the personality's knowledge of what I am versus what I am not. So it defines itself in contrast to what it is not, and what it is what it identifies with. So that's something that it's interesting that we will get into with our studies, looking at our personalities and who it is that we believe that we are. What do we identify with? What are the qualities or traits or attributes or skills that we identify with and we think of as being that we are those traits? They make us up. Those may be things that we feel like are very familiar to ourselves, and we can just very casually just accept about ourselves, and we just really strongly identify with. For example, let's see, I am, now I feel a little shy right now. So let's see, I would say I identify as a pretty hard working person. Usually I identify as a doer, someone who's can be out there and just get totally into doing projects and to a crazy degree, the nth degree. I am a kind of also at the same time kind of scattered idea type person. I get very conceptual very often, and I'm not necessarily very centrally grounded. So I identify as being more of a kind of dreamy conceptual person, and not as I don't identify as much as being a super like data grounded person. That's okay. And so we can come up with these different traits about ourselves. And let's see, what's another thing I can say about myself? I feel nervous about this. I feel shy. I feel like I identify with being generally kind of a shy person. And also I feel like I identify maybe with traditionally a person who tends to want to take care of having harmony in the social realm that I'm a part of. So I tend to be kind of like a caring person, and I'll get feedback like that. Like I'm a person who is kind, I'm considerate, I'm not going to be a pushy person, I'm accommodating. There we go, that's the word. Okay, so these could be looked at as kind of like my identity or aspects of my personality. Okay, it's so complex. We'll get into so much of this throughout the training here, but so the thing that I wanted to introduce and that I'm really trying to bring in with this practice and get us to look at more and more closely is that there is, what I'm framing it as, this quality of the experience of this particular, of a personality coming into the world, that at some point, they develop this ability to have some sort of self-reflective awareness. They are like a personality in the world, learning and growing, like they have these attributes of a life unit. But somewhere within the internal experience of that person, at some point in their life, there is another phenomena, another life unit that kind of emerges. And what that life unit is what I'm calling this inner trainer aspect. And it may be something that didn't really exist before, but at some point this inner trainer aspect emerges that's kind of separate from the personality. And the inner trainer can look at the personality and kind of can decide what type of trainings or how it maybe wants to push this personality to do something in the world. And so the inner trainer has the ability to observe the personality. This inner trainer aspect, I think, has the ability also to see itself and to learn and to grow. And it has the ability to be aware. It has the ability to make decisions. And so I'm just kind of suggesting this as sort of this kind of internal process that's not, it's kind of like two separate things in a way. However, this is just a model for how I'm presenting this phenomena, and you could also just as easily say that within a person's experience, within a personality, the personality as an umbrella, there's a quality inside of it where it can have this inner trainer like aspect of the personality. And this inner trainer aspect, when it started, it doesn't even matter. Don't even care about any of that. That's totally fine to look at it like that too. But to just know that, hey, there is some sort of inner trainer aspect of one's internal experience. And the reason why I'm bringing it up and wanting to talk about it is because of the inner trainer, in my view, has this looking at it kind of as an individual life unit. It has the ability, we have the ability to kind of study and to use it and to bring out more and more of this quality of objectivity. And what that is going to be a little bit more of a distance. So it's creating like a little bit more of a separation from the personality so that we can study the personality more, because if we look at, we kind of have this viewpoint that what we have is different life units, and life units have awareness. They make choices and they do things in their life, and they learn from those experiences. Well, the inner trainer is going to be this aspect that if we practice to get better and better skills of awareness and intention, the inner trainer, with the distance, a little bit more of a bird's eye view, potentially can really help the other aspects of our life experience, like our body and like this other aspect that I'm talking about of the personality itself. So this is a view of personality.